Are you ready?
Sundave Sitdown.
Yeah, it's time for Sundave Sitdown.
Sundave Sitdown.
Oh, well, look who decided to show up right on time.
Boy, I'm telling you, cutting it close, cutting it close. How are you, my friend?
Ooh, you're on a little bit of a delay. That's weird.
No, that's not a good thing.
Yeah, like your video is on just like a second delay.
What do you think I'm doing different? I'm not
I
even
don't know,
sure.
just leave and come back in.
Okay, I'll see you in a second. You have fun with the friends.
All
Bye.
right. Good evening, everybody. All me and me. It is another week of Sunday Sit Down. Oh yeah. And well, my guest returning in just a moment will be Manu, aka the 9.9 Newsstand. DM him at the 9.9 Newsstand. There he is.
Is it better? Is it good?
You are fine. Yes, your
Nice.
audio and your face are making the same movements and the same sounds at the same time.
Man, I'm telling you that's important. I'm telling you.
It is. Otherwise, you'd be like this.
Like one of those movies back in the day.
Yeah. Trip Power in the house. What up, Trip?
Trip, what's up? I'm logging into YouTube right now so that I can see the comments. Hello, Trip. How are you?
Mattis. Hello.
Mattis, my man. Hello, hello.
Hello. It is another Sunday sit down, and we got some stuff to talk about. I might even put you on the spot in a way that Justin did once. Remember when he rapped to you?
Yes.
I might sing.
Hey, you have a new theme song.
It's been there for a bit. It's been there for a bit.
You know, it's like me to catch on to things late. You know what I mean? Like I jump into the stream 10 seconds after I'm scheduled to go live.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Late to the party, but never a dull moment.
Appreciate you, my man. But yes, you're gonna sing. Yeah, I want you to sing to me, my friend.
Maybe,
That's not
maybe
gonna.
we'll see.
You can't say you might, and then well, yes, I guess you can. You can do whatever you want.
I can.
You can. Totally.
Good evening to Amber.
Hi, Amber. Hello.
So for anybody that doesn't know, all four of you in the room, we're going to be doing this, and then our friend Manu's probably going to leave about 5 minutes before 8:00. He's going to hop over to Spidey Hits to do his co-hosting duties on the Marvel show. I'll stick around for another 15 minutes. Then I am going to jump over to Justin's channel as well, and I should be able to go live. It'll look like I'm live from my channel. StreamYard's got that login on your own Instagram option, or your own YouTube.
This is not just a pre-party. This is the party.
The
party is going to have a couple of more guests. The cops are going to come and shut this one down.
Yeah.
And we're going to go over to Justin's place, and the party's going to continue.
But two things about that. Fuck the police. And hello, Tyler. Good evening,
Tyler.
my
What
friend.
Up?
Tyler's in the house.
Hey, he is TZD
on
whatnot.
Yeah,
that's right.
Amber's giving you a virtual hug because I did preface this chat with saying, "Good evening, my friends. Everyone, remember to give Manu a big hug." And then I said virtually, and then when nobody responded, I quietly screamed into the void.
All right. Well, it definitely says that, and I appreciate that very much.
So we're going to be talking about Spider-Verse tonight, all throughout both shows, but no spoilers. I won't spoil it. You haven't seen it, Manu. I know Tyler hasn't seen it. I will say this. Have you ever heard the song Across the Universe by the Beatles?
Probably not, or probably have and don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, that's where they got the title for the movie, because it's a song that's been around since the late 60s, a very famous song. Did you know the lyrics are actually Spider-Man and Spider-Gwen are superhuman spider friends. Together they are web swinging all across the Spider-Verse. Spider-Ham and Ben Reilly are hanging out in the background. Miguel O'Hara is nasty. I saw this movie. Yeah. This is the Spider-Verse. This is the Spider-Verse. That's all I wrote.
Oh, that. Listen. That's incredible. I'm gonna say something inappropriate. I was about to moisturize. After that, I could think of something else to do now, man. That was really beautiful. All
Well, thank
right.
you, thank you, thank you.
Oh gosh.
I have told this story to many people that know me that like my sense of humor and my ability to write like a parody song like that comes from one place, the same person, Weird Al. I grew up listening to Weird Al.
You do reference Weird Al a lot. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
and I don't mean that in a whatever way. I mean, like,
The-
yeah, he's had a big impact on you for sure.
Yeah. So, but no, I cardboardology in the house. What's up, my friend?
Cardboardology was going on. You just missed an inappropriate joke. Put the kids to bed, please.
Put the kids to bed. Put the kids to
Yeah.
bed. Thank you, Tyler. That was well thought out. And what's up, Card and Comic Freak? Got some good friends in here.
Oh, my guy. Hello. Nice to see you. And look, we got a bunch of hours that we're going to log tonight because we're going to do a couple hours on Justin's channel. So it's going to turn into one of those 4-hour evenings. In fact,
100%. Everybody, don't forget to hydrate.
Do not forget to hydrate and don't mind how long it takes me to rub lotion into my hand.
So before we talk Spider-Verse, it was spoiler free, but I did a Whatnot show last night. You were there with some of our friends in here. I did a card show last night. It's the first Whatnot show I've done in I think it's like somewhere between 6 and 8 months, maybe January or December. So that was fun. It was like hanging out with friends. I drank an adult cannabis beverage live on the stream, and then when things became a little too Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, I was like, okay, everybody have a good night.
I gotta go now. I can't quite,
yeah. Oh, Armando's in the house, our friend.
Armando, what up, my guy? What's happening? Why is my chat not working? Oh, yeah.
Tyler with the quote of the night: hydrate or fucking die of thirst.
Right. I've got coffee over here and a bottle of water over there. They have to, because the coffee is made out of water, but it'll dehydrate the
Tyler's Trip called it down the line when I was leaving the Whatnot show, but Tyler's right.
Andrew in the building. Wait, what is Trip saying?
After the show, I became my couch, which is true. Trip said no spoilers, but when Miles uses his adult disguise voice when talking to his dad as Spider-Man, he talks exactly like Manu. The cadence, that is very true. That is very true.
Real?
Yeah, like,
dude, that's funny.
So obviously he has to use a different voice if he interacts, and his dad's a cop. So we already know that. That's part of.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, when he does use his adult voice, it does very much. Now I'm gonna go see it again tomorrow, and I got to keep that in mind. But here's my biggest disappointment, and this is not a spoiler. This is not even something that would even be considered a fact.
Okay.
But they didn't use the goddamn Beatles song in Across the Spider-Verse. Come on, you had it. It was right there, across the universe, across the Spider-Verse.
You know what that is?
They
can't afford it. They can't afford it.
They can afford it. I think
tiny little company like Disney. That's a Sony product.
Sony, tiny little company like Sony. Andrew P. in the hearse.
Sony might even actually own the catalog. No, who owns the Beatles catalog?
I think it is Sony BMG, or it might be Sony BMG. Let's see. Who owns the Beatles songs? Sony ATV. Yeah.
So they could have done whatever they wanted with the song.
Another corporation failing to do what they could have done if they had just had somebody like me telling them, this is a good idea. I'll even write the lyrics.
The corporations know what they want is people like you on the inside. But the thing is, people like you hate corporations so much that the opportunity doesn't present itself. And so they get the fake people, the people that convince someone that they're like you, but then they just put on the suit and tie and do what upper management says.
I will say this about the movie: it is full of little Easter eggs. Like not even just Easter eggs. It is full of nods to so much of what we love about this. And I use this term talking about the Spider-Verse, like all of the things. One of the things this is like one of the first things you see in the movie, and it's not a Easter egg, but it is if you've read the Spider-Gwen, the first volume, which I think was only 5 issues, maybe a little more,
Okay.
there's an art style, but there's a palette. They match the color palette in the movie to the comic.
Oh,
Like color for color. It's such a beautiful thing to see. I'm so excited for everybody kind of by next week to hopefully have seen it so I can, dive further into talking about it. But it's super, obvious what 48 hours to 72 hours since it came out.
it's
I'm not
too young. It's
Yeah,
super
it's too young.
fresh. You're going to watch it again tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm gonna go see it tomorrow.
You
Yeah.
already have your tickets? Do you know which show you're watching?
No, I think I'm going to see it at 7. There's a theater actually in walking distance from my house.
Yo, I'm gonna coordinate my first time watching it with your second time watching it, and we'll be watching it at the same time, kind of like it's
Boom.
together.
Boom.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
like
Michael
it.
Jackson did own, Jackson owned the Beatles catalog or some of it. I don't think he owned the whole thing, but then McCartney, I think they got it back, and there was a lot of stuff done with it. The Gwen world in the movie was really pretty. Yeah, it matched that
Gwen's
palette.
got her own world. Well,
Well, 'cause-
spoiled for me now.
well,
I'm just playing.
because
I'm
at the end of
just-
the first one, they break off and she goes back to her own part of the multiverse.
Hey,
So
hey, friends, we're
it's
not.
kind
I'm
of
not going to
fresh.
say anything. I'm not going to say anything because Dave will say it later. But where Dave and I are doing something, I got a mic. I'm not using
No.
it right now, but
Yeah,
I've
you're
got a
not. I
mic
know you're not.
for other things that we do.
Well, why don't we talk about it?
Let's talk about it, dude.
All right. Well, so me and Manu, if you guys stayed in tune to what was happening a couple weeks ago, me and Manu went live on Instagram just to, chat about life on a
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I had suggested that we do a podcast together. And it was received really well. But we recorded 2 episodes of our first podcast this
yeah.
weekend. Yeah.
Oh, you were just distracted by you were reading
Yeah,
something.
I
while
was
you were
reading
saying that
something.
sentence. Yeah, we're having a conversation. Dave goes, "We should do a podcast," and I was like, "Yeah, we absolutely should." And our friends chimed in support. And then I dragged my feet for a little while, as I do. It wouldn't be normal if I didn't. And then we did it. We recorded 2 of them 2 nights ago.
Yeah. And do you want to tell them the name?
It came from the Newsstand.
That's right. It came from the Newsstand, and
Yeah.
I thought for a microsecond about calling it. It came from the Newsstand, but then it's an inside joke. You can't really. Call
Yeah, it would have been a little. It would have been. I mean, I would have loved it. But then the T-shirt would have, felt different on you than it would on me. Got my name. Where's your name? It came from the Manu's Dave. No.
Dave from a Newsstand.
Yeah,
No.
there you go. No one but you and I will know what's going on. But come on, the podcast is for us, okay? That's
Right. But we
Yeah,
recorded.
no.
We recorded 2 episodes so far.
Yeah, and it's just the first 2 episodes, right? Like we'll warm up to it, we'll get into the groove, but I feel like the groove will be found relatively quickly. And Trip
Mhm.
says, "Love the name." I do too. Like there were a couple of names suggested by some friends. There was like some names that I had jotted down. And then one night, Dave and I were on the phone, and he said, "I have a name idea." And he said, "It came from the Newsstand." And immediately I was like, yeah, like I'm going to put that at the top of the list. We'll sit with it. And then like maybe another day or 2 came by and Dave went by and Dave said, "Did we think of any other names or something?" And I said, "Nah, because it came from the Newsstand. That's the name." I love that. It sounds like it's good.
That is the name, and I'm excited. I've edited the one, and then I'm in the middle of editing the other, just to kind of do like like the things that we're supposed to do. Take out any pauses, weird sounds, try to cut out some of the uhs and ums and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The things that we say as humans as we're talking, but if you cut them out, it just helps the flow a little bit better. Amber, not to change the subject. Oh yeah, I was wrong for not warning you to talk about Chris talk for. Yeah, well, Claremont can talk. He's a nice guy. I think that's what you
Not
mean.
warning
That
me
he,
about Chris talking our Claremont. Wait, when did Amber have an interaction with Chris?
I guess it was a fan expo. There was some comic convention in the Bay
cool.
Area, right? Last weekend, I believe. And
Was there?
I think so. I assume that's where it
Wow.
was. That's where Amber is.
Okay.
She could have traveled for it, but
Oh yeah, Amber. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
yeah. Speaking of Chris Claremont, just want to announce to anybody who's listening, I'll make posts about this. Next book club, which whatever the last Sunday of this month is, I think it's the 30th actually, June 30th or whatever. We're going to be doing, I'm going to do a short one. We are doing X-Men Days of Future Past. So
Nice.
it's a 2-issue storyline, very famous, written by Chris Claremont, illustrated by John Byrne. That is going to be the next Sundave Sitdown at the end of this month, but I'll make more announcements about it. Pretty easy to read that. You don't have to own the single issues. It's collected in so many trade paperbacks. Plus, if you have the Marvel Unlimited app, you can just read it that way. So we're going to be doing that. Yeah.
Very cool.
We could do a rap rock music video, but I don't know if that'll really suit both of us. I think it'll suit us individually.
See, conversation is where Dave. You know what? One day we'll write a song together. We'll see.
That's right. That's right.
You
That's
know,
right.
if Jay-Z and Linkin Park can do it,
that's right.
We'll
Wasted your talent, Randy. Actually, that album's been in my head for like the last month and a half. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I listen to it quite often because of that. We live in an age where, oh, this is in my head. Let me put it on right now.
Yeah. Well, how do we feel about that? The fact that like we don't buy records, or we don't buy albums, CDs, or anything. You actually do?
I have about 900 vinyl.
Current?
records.
No. I mean current release. Like a new piece of music comes out. Do you purchase it, or do you just listen to it on a subscription service?
If I want to support the band, yeah, I'll buy it on vinyl. Yeah.
Wow. Good on you. Good on you.
It's something I like having a physical piece of media to listen to or watch. You know, I don't buy as many movies as I used to because I think there's a lot of stuff that I'm not going to rewatch, but I still own about 50 or 60 movies on Blu-ray that I watch often because I want to own it. Because when one day they take all of our subscription services away.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what if, Spotify just loses everything and all my playlists go away?
Yeah. It's there. It's bound to happen one day. Apple could literally just take your entire music library away. Like that.
Is iTunes still a real iTunes doesn't exist anymore, right? It's not iTunes anymore.
It's called Apple Music.
Okay, yeah.
But I still like if a band has an album and it comes with the digital download, I'll download that. So I have a hard copy download and a physical copy of the album. Just to answer this, Armando. The podcast probably won't drop for at least, I'm going to say maybe like 2 weeks, somewhere around there. I still have to do my research on the back end of where you upload it, how to get it to the certain places. We need a logo. So I think we're still about 2 weeks out of dropping the first podcast. Yeah.
I'm good.
But Armando, once we have that stable and ready to go, there's going to be an Instagram. There's going to be a lot of promotion on it on Instagram and wherever else we decide to we're and obviously we expect it to grow slowly because we're catering to an audience of people that want to listen to two of us. But I look at it this way, and I said this to Manu. There's a lot of you out there, and some of you that aren't watching this because it kind of pertains to people that aren't watching this, but some people don't want to sit and watch a YouTube show. They don't have the time to pay attention with their eyes and ears. But we do live in a society where podcasts are listened to on the regular during work hours. Right. And so this is going to kind of cater to people that, don't have the time to dedicate to watching, but they want to listen.
Yeah, the time or the double dimension to dedicate, right? Like it could be background noise if you want it to be. You could casually have it on and you don't have to look at it. It's not like we're going to say, look at this comic book now. And then you feel like you have to be, eyeballs to the screen.
Sure.
You're going to be in a conversation with us. And I'm most excited about the idea of really opening up and have it just be like, the phone calls that Dave and I have are now public and for better or worse,
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with that. But
that's pretty much the vibe of it.
Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is. Like we talk. And sometimes we have conversations that no one's privy to. And I think to myself, that would have been a compelling bit if it was recorded.
Yeah.
And
I'm in the midst of the editing the second episode of the podcast where I go off on like racist shitty people. And I'm just like, I got to leave this whole tirade in there.
I thought you were gonna say you were taking it out. I was
No,
like, oh,
no.
what?
I haven't taken out anything on the editing side that isn't more than just like one of us tripping over our words. That's it.
Right, right,
You know.
right. Like I called someone a fucking idiot, but I fully expect that. Oh my! For a second, I thought I was on the Marvel show, and I said, like, for a second, I was like, I looked at the screen, like, oh my gosh, I'm on Justin's show, and I just said that. You cannot do that. Oh,
Tyler, you're talking when it comes to logo, we're talking to a person that is a visual king. There's not going to be any pictures of us in the logo.
yeah, guys, I'll present something, and it's gonna basically speak like my design language because that's the only way I know how to create and feel good about it. But we'll take like a community poll, and if it's too boring or too like just clean liney or whatever,
Mhm.
we'll incorporate something into it that makes a lot of sense. But I do, my whole thing with the podcast, I imagine just a dark room and our voices, right, and our friends engaging in the conversation.
A dark room in our voices.
The name has just changed, ladies and gentlemen.
The new
And
podcast name is A Dark Room and Our Voices.
dude, that's actually something. And then and so for the logo, I don't want that to be an emphasis. I don't want that to be an
No.
animation. I want it to be something super clean where it might not necessarily lend to like the greatest sticker or enamel pin, but it would look great on a simple black hoodie or a crew neck, like something of that sort. But
Sleek.
yeah, whatever it is, hopefully it's simple, gets the point across. It's just a place to brand the name and let that
Mhm.
look good in icon form on whatever platforms this thing streams on. And also, animations, colors, and gradients are just not suitable for logos that are going to be used in small form over multiple medias. It's just not the greatest way to do it. Large format is different than small, and
Mhm.
I'm gonna try to just make it real simple.
Yeah, yeah.
No, read your comments. Read your comics. Hello, my friend. There are not going to
No
be any
spoilers.
Spider-Verse spoilers here.
No.
No, no, sir.
I want to say a couple things about it, but we'll get to that in a second.
Thank
Cardboardology
you.
is appreciate that.
Thank you. Yes.
I was told by Joe, actually, my Joe Scar, when he was doing the promotional stuff for Dave VentureCon, he's like,
Yeah.
he said about your logo is the only person that had a logo that was actually designed as a logo.
Oh, about mine?
Yeah,
Oh,
like as in
cool.
a design sense,
Cool.
because that's what he does. I don't that's a
Dude,
foreign world to me, but
Joe Scar is amazing. Dude, Joe, no, I mean, in all honesty, respect where respect is due. Joe Scar designs circles around me. Like the kind of designer I am is
Mhm.
very much the kind of designer I am. And when I was being hired for it, if someone was looking for something outside of the parameters of what I like doing, I
Yeah,
hire out for that because
sure.
I can recognize what I can and can't do. And Joe is like, bro,
You,
he designs circles around me.
you know what? I'm really fortunate because with Joe and like now you and also Dave Korea,
Mm-hmm.
I get like
Mm-hmm.
some of the most interesting comments and design comments like I'm growing better with my design IQ just because of you guys kind of giving me why this is the way it is and why you can't do it this way, you know?
Sure, sure. Bro,
So,
if I started telling my friends my opinions on certain design things they do, I wouldn't have friends.
sure.
Because I'm so annoying, dude.
But if you're a person that's taking that criticism like me, I don't know enough about design, so when I hear people talk about it that do it, I'm like, okay, I believe you. This is your field. If I
Yeah,
wanted advice on something else, I would go to somebody else. Or if you needed advice on being a comic seller, then you could
yeah,
ask me, you know.
yeah.
But I'm not going to ever take somebody like you or Joe or Dave, and when they're like, "Oh, that's not a good design, it doesn't work," and be like, "Ah, I don't believe you."
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I
Yeah,
hear you. I
yeah,
definitely hear you. And I mean, man, that West Coast, I mean, the Avenger Con logo, poof, that thing is
yeah.
beautiful.
He did a
The
great
way
job
it
on
pulls
it.
the 80s into it, the colors in
Hmm.
it, like,
Yeah,
such a proud logo.
and the thing about it is with Joe, like it took us not really much time at all to get into it. But once we started getting that flow where I'm like, here's this idea out of my head. Can you make this happen? And he would make it happen. I'm like, sky's the fucking limit.
Yeah,
Sky's
with
the
Joe,
limit.
it really feels like sky's the limit, man,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
real. Hey, but your homie, your friend that has that clothing brand, Brightmares, like
Oh yeah,
those
Alex.
designs are awesome too, and he designs those, right?
Yeah, Alex. Well, Alex and Dave, they used to own a art collective apparel company all in one called Zero Friends, which was Bay Area.
Oh,
And so the two of them are amazing artists, but they're also amazing designers and make. Dave's moved on to sculpting, and Alex does everything. And yeah, they're at a level that I don't even understand how people like that can be that creative. So
that's awesome.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
very awesome.
Amber, I'm with you. My stick figures look like yeah, basically they look like Keith Haring, only with no arms and no brain.
Sounds pretty cool. A stick figure that barely survived 90s New York just sounds great. Like
Yeah.
what an intro to the designs we're about to see. I like that, actually.
All right, so yeah, no spoilers, but I will say this
None.
overall, Spider-Verse was absolutely fantastic. Like, I had a bad movie theater experience. I've already talked about this with you, but I said we got tickets and we went to see it on Friday afternoon. Like, it wasn't even nighttime yet. And as the trailers started rolling, these three teenage girls sat down to the right of me,
Yeah.
and the one girl immediately to the right to me started talking. I'm like, all right, it's just the trailers. She'll shut up, for the movie. 2.5 hours, she didn't stop talking. I actually had leapfrogged over Tanner to the seat next, and it was just like, it was such a disappointing experience. So I'm going to go see it tomorrow. But I was able to enjoy the movie. It just, it's very, very much into movies. I get into the zone. I get lost in the movies, but I kept getting taken out by this idiot girl. And she was probably like 15, and I wasn't gonna be like, it's hard for
Yeah.
me to mediate my anger. It's like 0 or it's 100 miles an hour, and I couldn't
Right.
just lean over to her and be like, can you shut the fuck up? Because
Yeah.
I just didn't want to make a scene, so I just moved.
And
But
you're watching it again today.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean tomorrow.
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 Big B in the
Rohan, what up?
house, and
Oh, Big
Rohan in
B,
the
what's
house.
going
Big
on?
B and Rohan in the house, and Rohan's going to be on with us on Justin's show at.
He
I'll be on
is.
probably around 8:30. You'll be on at 8.
Yeah. I'll be in
Yeah,
there, and then we'll all get in there, and we'll see where it goes.
yeah,
We'll see
yeah.
what the evening has in store for us. I won't just try to sell the whole night. I won't just be like, "Can I sell this? Can I sell this?"
I
I won't.
might rip a box, but it's not going to be spiders. It's
What is that?
the
Star
Mandalorian.
Wars?
Yeah,
Oh yeah. I
I
thought
want.
that was. I
You thought I
thought
put
that
a
was
mask on?
No, yeah, it looked, but no, I also thought that was like a religious thing. I thought that was a crucifix or something for a second.
That would be the wrong show to bring that on,
Yeah, no, I was just
or
like,
the
wait,
right
what
show.
is he show? Yeah, I was like, what is he showing me? But now I see that's the mask of the
Of the Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
See, the reason, so I bought this with a couple other I have a guy. I got a guy that sells me Star
I
Wars
know you
boxes. Yeah.
sure do. You got a
Yeah.
guy. I know you do.
And I'm pretty sure there's Pedro Pascal autographs in here, so I like bought both of them to
He's the actor that plays Mandalorian, right?
yes, and he's also
People really love that guy.
Pedro Pascal is like, remember, every once in a generation an actor comes along that becomes the most likable person in his field,
Yeah,
right? Pedro
yeah.
Pascal is currently the most likable person that acts, period. He's an actor. He is the most likable actor. I watch a lot of interviews with him. I watched him. Have you ever heard of the show Hot Ones? The
Nope. The
YouTube
chicken
show.
wing one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So his episode on Hot Ones was absolutely hilarious. But he ends like they always do at the end. The host, I forget his name, Sean, and he says,
Hmm.
"This camera, this camera, this camera, this camera. Tell us what you got going on." And Pedro Pascal turns to the camera, but he's not looking at the camera. He's kind of looking this way, and he's just like, "I don't know. I might go to the Whitney Museum if I don't shit myself. Goodbye." And I just fucking lost it. I absolutely lost it. And
Oh, because of yeah.
yeah, just like his delivery. He's very funny, even though most of his roles that are critically acclaimed are, they're dramatic roles. But
I
he's
want to
having a moment.
I want to, and it definitely appears that when I ask you an interesting question, and this happens to me from time to time, some actors are really great actors, right?
Mhm.
And they're really charismatic. And sometimes you see a really great interview where you feel like you've gotten to know them better. You've actually
Sure.
fallen more in love with their personality. You think that you get the feeling that they're sincere and genuine. But then, every time when that happens, I also remember, wait, this person's a really good actor.
I mean, but
Right? But
in
I'm not saying that everyone's
yeah.
not a good person. I'm just saying that's a thought that I have, like, what if they're not good people, but they're just really good actors? But just a thought.
But that brings like kind of the question that like well, first of all, they're acting. You have to have some amount of personality to be a good in your field in acting. Actors
Absolutely.
act, you know, he's one of those people you just know that like it's a job for him, but he's
Hmm.
actually really funny. And like the Nick Cage movie that Mike mentioned, The Unbearable Likeness of Being Great, I think it was called, where it's a meta film where Nick Cage plays Nick Cage.
Uh-huh.
But you see Pascal is just like absolutely hilarious in it. And you could tell he's having a good time too. So
Yeah, he's
Armando,
probably a really great guy.
yeah, he
Just saying.
seems that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Armando said he was thinking of getting some Star Wars sketches from Newligan. I don't know who that is, but had to pick up some Wolverine and X-Men sketches instead. Well, that's your love. You're a Wolverine guy. Sneakity sneak,
Newligan's
motherfucker.
Newligan's a dope name. Is that like
Yeah,
the combination of hooligan and
and
something? Like,
something, yeah,
yeah,
like
maybe his name is like,
Nick,
Nancy? Well, his name wouldn't
Nancy.
be Nancy, would it?
Her Pedro Pascal does most of the voiceover and less of the physical stuff in the show now. But he says time to time, he'll do some of the scenes. But why? What's the point? Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
He's wearing a mask.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. So he can do Mando for as long as he wants. Think about it. I'm 43. I've always sounded like this, or more like this. I don't know.
I actually just found my voice. I didn't have it before.
Yeah, you didn't. You appeared on the internet when you found your voice.
That is true. That is true. I didn't know what I was here to do until I did it. That's something. I don't know.
That's some words right there. Those are some words.
Yeah.
But getting back to the Spider-Verse, it was fantastic. It was I'll recommend this. Anybody who saw it probably already knows this. See it twice, because each frame of that movie, there is something going on that is not the focal point of the scene, which is great. I mean, you watch the first one and it's very much the same, but there was less characters in the first one. And obviously we all know that this is the exploration of the Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot of characters to see, a lot of Easter eggs, a great plot, which I also thought was pretty interesting. And anybody who saw the trailer knows this movie's coming out. But if you watch the trailer, and I stopped watching after the first full trailer, they don't tell you the plot. Like there's no, like you watch that trailer and you know there's gonna be some stuff happening, but they hit the plot real well. They
Right.
hit the plot so well that you're not gonna realize what the plot is until kind of halfway through the movie or more.
Ooh.
And it's such a brilliant thing. Like it's the one thing I do love about this modern age of we went through an era for about 5 to 10 years where trailers were spoiling everything.
Bro,
Like
I would watch a
everything.
spoiler and have no desire to watch the movie. I'd be like, well, I kind of feel like I've got it now.
See, that's how much of a spoiler. You just called the trailer a spoiler.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And so now with this movie and like certain aspects of some of these, well, the Marvel movies aren't as good as subverting the what's going on, but this was so special because I remember watching the trailer and thinking like all these different ways that they could go with this movie, and it went a completely way that I had no clue was happening. So
In
it
a
was
great way, though.
in a great way. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen it. I'm just excited for what everyone's saying about it. But tomorrow, I think that's going to be the day.
Trip said, never been so excited to own a movie so you could pause the movie at your leisure. And yeah. When I first watched Spider-Verse at home, I kind of did that. And there were a couple movies that I've like purposefully was excited to watch to see what was going on in some of the frames and stuff that I missed.
Trailers to me are like ruining your appetite with the bread served before dinner. Like if you go to
Yeah.
Cheesecake Factory and just start spreading that delicious butter over those two sorts of breads they put on the table, what are you going to do when you're, whatever comes, what you've ordered?
No,
Because
it's
Cheesecake Factory has
true.
1,000 things on the menu.
That's why I watch teaser trailers, because I want to get a glimpse of the movie. I want to see what it's going to look like. When Force Awakens came out, I watched the teaser trailer for that, probably no joke, like 100 times. But then by the time Last Jedi came out, I was like, all right, I'm watching the teaser trailer. I'm not watching anything else. And so, it's just, I actually ran out of the movie theater once to avoid seeing a Star Wars trailer, because I didn't want to see it. Yeah. Like I was like, I know the thing is like, I know I'm going to see it. And I am a smart person who can deduce plots from fucking, here's a good story. I'm gonna tell a funny story.
Okay.
But first let's talk. Big B said Ursula the Sea Witch had my voice for a while. I don't.
Who's Ursula the Sea Witch? Is that from Little Mermaid?
Yeah, I haven't seen the
right,
new one though. I haven't seen the new one.
There is a new one, isn't there? I haven't seen
Yeah,
that.
it's a live action. I forget who plays.
There's a live action Little Mermaid?
Yeah, it's what's her name plays. Used to be in The King of Queens. Can't remember her name. So whatever her name is.
Used to be in The King of Queens. I was at a live filming of The King of Queens once. I was in the studio
King of
audience.
Queens. Yeah, that was the Kevin James show, right?
Is he the big funny guy?
Yeah. No, wait.
Yeah.
I don't know. Look, sometimes I get my large TV actors mixed up. I don't know.
All right. It's fine.
Anyway,
it's fine. I wouldn't know if you were wrong. I wouldn't know.
Melissa McCarthy. There we go.
All right. Shout out Melissa.
Mike says I usually avoid trailers if I want to know I want to see it. Exactly. You get there was only one trailer for The Last Jedi. Yeah, I think I just saw the teaser then. Oh no, that was Rise of Skywalker. I didn't even bother with the trailer for Last Jedi. I was like, I'm gonna see it. The latest Guardians of the Galaxy trailers did a good job. Yeah, it did. James Gunn also, like, I bet he supervised the cutting of that trailer together, because it felt like exactly what a trailer is supposed to do. Give you the little moments. Hey,
I sold these.
You sold
them. Yeah.
All right, they're not for sale.
All right,
I heard that's an important comic book.
That's a decent one.
All right, so let me tell this story real quick. It may not resonate with you specifically for the movie, but it'll resonate just in general. M. Night Shyamalan, very famous for his surprise endings in the first couple of movies in his career. Yes, he is.
Mm-hmm.
Sixth Sense, greatest surprise ending of all time.
Love that freaking movie, dude.
Unbreakable, arguably the greatest superhero movie of all time that's not based on a comic.
So good.
And then we get to his third movie.
Signs was amazing.
I love Signs. And then we get to his fourth movie. Now his fourth movie,
The Village,
was The Village.
Right.
And I was living with my two friends. We rented a house in Long Island, or half a house. And we're sitting on the couch watching something, and the trailer comes up for The Village.
Mm-hmm.
And we watch the trailer, and I look over to Ed and I say, it would be really funny if it was actually present day and they didn't know that it was present day. Flash forward a month and a half later, I'm at the movie with my coworkers, and that's the fucking surprise ending. I was the only person in the movie theater laughing uncontrollably, because I was like, I knew this. This was what I said. And so after that, I was like, yeah, trailers are, if you have like just a little, you use that brain, that piece of your brain that loves like suspense or mystery things, or loves you're okay. I'm a paranoid person by nature. I'm full of anxiety. So that leads to paranoia,
Anxiety, my best friend.
And I can deduce movie endings and plot points from a stupid trailer. So fuck trailers.
Fuck trailers. New movie review show coming to you from the West Coast Day Ventures.
We had to see it for my wife. He was talking about The Little Mermaid. It's basically the same movie. I mean, I don't know what a live action movie on an animated scale can really do. I say that with an asterisk, because The Jungle Book, which was directed...
You have an asterisk?
I do have an asterisk. An asterisk. Jon Favreau directed The Jungle Book live action movie. That was awesome. But then, like, the cascade of Disney cashing in on that, including The Lion King and would never take Robin Williams' memory and shit on it by watching the live action Aladdin. But I just don't. Yeah, it doesn't
I
appeal
haven't
to me.
seen any of those. I didn't know there was a live action Aladdin. Oh
They did
yeah,
Aladdin, they did Lion King, now they did Little Mermaid, they did Jungle Book. I think that's all they've done so far.
Jungle Book I might have watched. I don't remember.
Jungle Book was fantastic because it was fresh. It felt new. It was like after Favreau directed Iron Man and Iron Man 2, and like, or maybe it was between Iron Man and Iron Man 2, but it was like it was kind of like him saying like, oh, I want to do this cool thing now.
Favreau is Iron Man's right-hand man or assistant or manager
Yeah,
or agent or
Happy
something.
Hogan. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's the guy that brought the whole thing to life in the cinema world.
Yeah, there was a
Wow.
really cool video, and I think I might have talked about it last week on Sit Down. It was a 15th anniversary of the first Iron Man movie, and it was Favreau sitting with Kevin Feige, and they were talking about like basically the risk of casting Robert Downey Jr. at that time. But then once they got Robert Downey Jr. on, everybody else signed on, and
Wow.
it's a really nice look at the beginning of the MCU with the two of them. Armando said I watched the Phantom Menace trailer over 20 times because of the Duel of the Fates. Anyway.
I never know what's going on.
Well, look, I keep you on your toes.
Wait, what's the second appearance of Venom?
Mattis was saying that ASM 300 is the second appearance of Venom.
I mean, it is.
It is.
It
is. Let's
It,
call it
in
what
terms
it
of
is.
what technically an appearance is, something appears. Well,
Yeah.
it appeared in 299. In fact, if I remember correctly, someone brought to my attention, I think it was in 298, Venom's hand is in the last
That's
page or
right.
something like
But
that.
that's not an appearance. A hand is not an appearance. Because
Yeah.
like Sundave Sitdown is not just this.
No, but it could very well be. No one can say it's not Dave's hand.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, I'm just saying the whole, like, I had the cameo. I don't care, quite frankly. I don't care.
Yeah.
There's a reason why ASM 300 is ASM 300. 299's cover's kind of like not the greatest.
No,
And
but that
300's
last
cover's pretty
page is the
amazing.
best.
The best. That Venom image is the best, but I respect it as a cameo. Like, I get what a cameo is. It's a preview of what's to come. And yeah, it's the full Venom, but it is the last page, and it is setting you up for a full story, a full appearance. So I get it. But technically, it is an appearance. It's just an interesting situation.
I agree, Mike. By the way, Split was pretty.
299 has 4 panels of full-on Venom.
The second to last page doesn't have a face shot, and then I don't know if it's I think he just got the book anyway, so he's probably very fresh in his mind. It's definitely more than one panel, but that last page is the best.
Read Your Comic says it's funny how that is not as debated as Hulk 181 debate. It is really funny, actually.
It's the same
exact thing. There's your full Wolverine, but then there's the book with the full Wolverine story, right? It is the same exact thing. And then, I was on the phone with a comic book seller. That's weird to call someone a comic book seller. Like, what is that? The pot calling the kettle whatever, black. And that's weird. But I was on the phone with someone that I was trying to buy a comic book from, and he was telling me that, great guy, and he was telling me that he has Avengers Annual 10 in the 9/8 newsstand.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, you know what? I love that book. I've never had a 9/8 newsstand. I've had 9/8s. I've had not 9/8s, but I've never had a 9/8 newsstand, and I've sold them all. I'm not one of the few, because I've spoken to a lot of people that actually do like the cover. When that book is slabbed with the blue label, the blue lens, it like complements it well. It's good. And I think since it's ugly, I like it.
It's just not a typical cool comic cover. It almost feels, the cover to Avengers Annual 10, which is the first Rogue, for anybody that's not aware, it kind of just feels like they made a page. Like the cover is a page.
It's weird. It's like one of those ads that would be in the middle of a late 80s comic book, right? Selling you a bunch of weird stuff and a weight loss pill at the same time. Like, it just feels kind of generic, right? Or just something. And then, so at the same time, he goes, he was talking about that book. This is interesting. Side note, he said, man, I thought it was going to come back in 9294. It came back in 98. And I said, that's great for you, but how do you feel about that? Because if I want to buy your 9.8, the question I have for you now that you've said that is, does it look like a 9.4? Like a
Yeah,
gift grade isn't necessarily a gift,
that's
you know?
right. It
Because
could
now
be a
you have to sell
curse.
something. It could be a curse. You have to sell something, and what you know, where's your ethical sort of boundary at? Are you selling it as a 9.8, or are you discounting it because it shouldn't have been? Are you calling CGC out, or are you just counting your lucky stars that you're going to get 9.8 money, but the collector might be unhappy? Anyway, he didn't say anything unethical. We had a fun conversation about it, but he goes on to say that Avengers Annual 10 is not the first cover of Rogue. And I said, and
No.
for a split second, no, well, for a split second, I agreed. I said, oh, you're right. I used to think it was the silhouette. And he said it's a book called Rom something, Rom #1 or something, right?
It's like, no, it's like 20. It's in the 20s.
Yeah, some book called Rom that I didn't know anything about. And I think then he showed it to me. And I said, oh, no, wait, I just remembered. Avengers Annual 10 is the first appearance of Rogue. She is on the cover. She's wearing a green hood, two people behind the silhouetted figure. She
Yeah.
is actually on the cover, you know. And then he says, yeah, but it's just like a small headshot. It doesn't count. And I said, well, that's interesting, because that's how 316 is the first full cover of Venom, but 315 has
15
a
is
small
the
little
head.
headshot on it, right?
Yeah.
But Avengers Annual 10, small image, not a small image, it's still the first cover appearance and the first appearance of Rogue. She's on the cover. Yes, in the green hood.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Here's the thing about Rogue. Rogue, not that great of a character anyway. Doesn't look
What are you
that
talking
cool until Jim Lee draws her.
Yeah. Facts.
Okay.
Facts.
Sugar, I can't kiss you, Sugar. I'm gonna take your power, Sugar. Oh, fucking Rogue.
She used to call people sugar.
Yeah, because she's from the South, so they would spell it
Okay.
Sugah, Sugar. And it's, she's always like, Remy, I can't kiss you, Remy. Oh, chérie, mon frère. Ah, Remy Lobo. Anyway, that's me and Gambit and Rogue.
Michael, I got a question for you. Like, Michael, I agree with what you said. It's very easy for me to agree with that. But then the question I have for you, let me read this out loud. First appearance for both of those are $299 and $180, Venom and Wolverine, respectively. Yeah. Is that how you use the word respectively? I think so.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a full panel of the character, but I get why people want it to be $300 and $181. I get it too. But my question to you is this. If we define cameo as an appearance that is setting you up for a full appearance, can we also easily agree that they're cameos? And that's just for Michael specifically.
Yeah.
Like, Michael, how do you feel about just calling them cameos? Like, I'm all right with whatever. I don't care.
I think I call it a cameo appearance if you're going to call it something, but use the word appearance.
Oh, yeah. Why not use the word appearance? Yeah. I mean, cameos can't be invisible.
Well,
it's a cameo.
For example, that figure of a hooded Rogue on the cover of 10, it took
the figure of the hooded. No,
yeah.
The silhouette is a different thing. No, that's not her. She's actually behind the silhouette in color, wearing a green hood with the gray.
I have to look at that. I'll have to look at it. I have a couple copies of that book.
Pull it up. We're in a technical world. You're engineeringly equipped. What are you doing? Let's look at this thing together.
I will say this. ASM 299 still should be worth more money than
it should.
Than it is.
And what makes me happy is what the premium that the 9.8s bring in, because those are such difficult books with that black back cover and the white front cover. And forget it, a 9.8 newsstand in 298 or 299, those bring in a premium, and it makes me so happy. All right.
You can see this, right?
Yeah. No, well, kind of. But it could be bigger if you want. If you can.
Hold on. Oh yeah. No, isn't this? I don't know how to make it bigger.
Oh, Michael says, to me, cameo is someone showing up unexpected. Ooh, that's not how I perceive cameo. That's interesting. Anyway, that's fine, right? That's fine that way.
So you're saying that Rogue
see Mystique's right hand?
That's right there?
Rogue, right there. Boom. That's Rogue.
That's a fucking cameo.
But it's Rogue. My only point is it's Rogue.
It's Rogue.
My only point is it is Rogue.
Here's the thing.
And I was corrected on that. I didn't know that was Rogue.
Yeah.
I grew up thinking the silhouette was Rogue.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. That's fine, but it's an appearance. To me, a cameo means someone showing up unexpected. Right. And to me, an appearance means that who that is because there is a proper name used. So the last page of ASM 299, it says Venom. I'm pretty sure in Hulk
I
180, it
love
says
what Andrew
Wolverine.
just said.
Saying cameo appearance is like saying chai tea or non-bread. Yeah, because they're
That is
or ATM machine.
that. Oh, sure, because the M is
Yeah,
machine, I
yeah,
assume.
yeah,
My
yeah.
friend, that is so. That's a class act of a comment there. I
That
love
is
that.
great.
Non-bread.
Archangel and X Factor 2324,
Chai tea.
which there you go. And the sound of first cameo in my head is just not showing them fully whether. I mean, to me, it's not even the designation. It's the fact that ASM 299 should be worth at least exactly half of what 300's worth, if not more.
Sure.
You should
Sure.
not be able to buy like a raw 9.8 copy of 299 for as cheap as you can. And go buy them. Keep buying them because one day that will
Oh,
come
Dave.
around. At 180 says, 180 says does say Wolverine. So,
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
from what I understand, yeah. I
um,
can see that now. I like that extra perspective on how Michael it perceives the word cameo like it's an like the way Stanley used to make a cameo appearance
that's a
in the
cameo.
movies.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, where he
It's
pops
very
up
fascinating.
and it was expected, but we didn't know when he was going to pop up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting. I
Uh,
can dig it.
Manu, I just want to let you know for your own sake, you've got
Mhm.
9 minutes until you're on the other channel.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, we've been on for 51 minutes.
God, okay. Where's the time? Oh, I see the time. All right.
Yeah. So I'm
Wow.
keeping look, I'm
I'm
not
gonna
saying
miss you guys for 20. Everybody, please come over there after you guys are done here. I think it's gonna be like 25 minutes after I leave, but I'd love to see 9.9 minutes. Andrew says,
9.9.
I love it. I'd love to see you all over there. Dave's gonna be there, so
Yeah. I'll be over there wreaking havoc with you, and Rohan will be over there, and obviously Justin will be there because it's his channel, unless he's
And let's
not.
bring this conversation over there too. We'll get
Yeah.
Justin's take on cameos and stuff like that. I think he even owns like a 181, doesn't he? Isn't it on
Yeah.
the wall behind him?
I think it's a facsimile.
Okay.
Yeah. But the one thing I won't say over there is fuck. But I'll say
We
it
got to
here.
get it out now. Fuck.
Yeah. Fuck.
Fuck, fuck.
All right.
Okay,
Lamar
that's enough.
said if they are in a book for the first time ever is in her first appearance. If they talk or not, it's the first time they're seen cameo or not. Yeah, and that's the whole thing about the debate. It's just, you know what it is? It's pieces of the old guard and the new guard and the new guard and the old guard. Like 180 used to be cited as the first appearance of Hulk, and then it changed one day. I don't know. You know what? It doesn't really matter. You know why it doesn't really matter? Because
Read your comments.
nothing really matters. Anyone can see. Oh, sorry.
Hey, you said Mattis. And Mattis, I keep saying read your comments.
Yeah.
When it's read your comics. I love it. Hey, that should be your YouTube persona. Read your
he actually is on YouTube. His YouTube content, he doesn't put out a ton, but he puts out YouTube content. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, nice.
He
Very
reads
nice.
comics with his kids and gets their reaction.
No way.
Yeah. It's really cool. He was his name's Daryl. He was on everybody go follow Read Your Comics or also read your comments. But Daryl was a guest on Sundave Sitdown whenever we did Infinity Gauntlet last weekend, the weekend before. Anyway.
I definitely don't have time to make another cup of coffee, but that's
no.
all right.
If you want to go, you could go now. That's okay.
I like it here. I mean, I'm loving this conversation, man.
Yeah. Well,
I'm so glad you warned me, though. I would have had zero idea, dude.
I know.
Wow.
I'm the time guy. I know these things. Darkseid to cameo first appearances in the same boat. Yeah. Well, Darkseid's appearance, I mean, it's kind of cut and dry. He's in a panel on a TV in Jimmy Olsen, Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, whatever the number is, 151. I don't know. But yeah, cameo is the one. Yeah, it's a strange thing. It really is dictated by like the masses. It really is. Like who's buying what price they're paying, and what the book sells for.
Yeah, ultimately the collecting community sort of defines something, and then anyone that's new to it is going to see the recent trend or the historic trend, and that's going to define what they do.
How about this? Ultimate Fallout 4? That's not the first appearance of Miles. That's a cameo. First appearance of Miles as Spider-Man. He's on the cover of Ultimate Comics #1. It's his book. It's a actual story. Like Ultimate Fallout is literally just a piece of a story thrown into a book with 5 stories in it. It's not.
Is it? I don't even know what the inside of it. I shouldn't say that out loud, but I don't know.
It's an awful fucking book.
After this, I'm gonna go. But you know what it is? When I first got back into collecting, I had no idea that there was this Ultimate Fallout situation. When I first saw those covers, I thought they were the ugliest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Ultimate Fallout looks stupid, you know, and then like Miles' face is covered, and there's like these faded images of all these other characters. I'm like, what universe am I in now where all of this exists on the cover of this hodgepodge thing? And now I love it for a variety of reasons.
Of course.
But at first I was like, design wise, this is crap.
Terrible. All right, Armando, I'll check that out.
All right, I love you guys all. I'll see you guys all in 25 minutes.
About 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Yeah.
Thanks for having me, Dave.
All right. I'll see you soon, Manu.
Bye-bye.
Bye. The funny thing about Ultimate Fallout. Okay, so we're talking about comics, right? They're supposed to be read. I know. Read your comics. Daryl, don't worry. I got your back. They're supposed to be read. If you read what I've talked about this before. Last year, I partook in reading all of Ultimate Spider-Man from Ultimate Spider-Man 1 all the way through Secret Wars 2015. So that goes through Peter Parker, the death of Peter, Miles, and then Miles meets Peter. Then he joins the Ultimates and all that stuff. If you read Ultimate Fallout and then you go to read Ultimate Spider-Man 1, like it's night and day. Like Ultimate Fallout's not really a comic. It's a comic, sure, but it's like the first appearance of Miles is that Ultimate Comics Spider-Man #1. That's his real first appearance. Like that's where everything begins. That's where the book starts. So I know Ultimate Fallout is considered what it's considered. That's okay. I'm not trying to demean Ultimate Fallout 4 because I think it's a great book, but as it pertains to being a comic, it's almost like it's almost like saying Malibu's son is the first appearance of Spawn when Todd's like, well, it's Spawn 1, or you're getting like a snippet of a story that's not part of the whole. Anyway, that's just me. Lamar, I feel bad. I never read the Batman Who Laughs First, that whole thing. I clocked out of the Snyder Capullo Spider-Man right before that whole thing started. I've been meaning to go back and read it. I just haven't. Sorry, I did. Yeah, exactly. The new sighting. Don't worry, Swish. We know where we're gonna be in like 25 minutes. So Mattis, Ultimate Spidey is it'll probably speak to you a lot more because when I first read it, I was like, I read it when it was coming out. So I read it, 10, 15 years ago. And I thought it was a great take. Going back and reading it last year, I realized like Bendis's writing got better and better. Like there was never a point where like he got worse. He just kept getting better and better. There was definitely a disconnect between some of his scripts and Bagley's art. For example, first issue, the retelling the origin of Spider-Man. There's literally one panel. It was just like he's standing there, spider bites him, and then he starts getting sick. Like it was so weird. I'm like, I know you're not gonna retell the same story, but change it a little bit. I don't know. It was very strange. But then there are some storylines that are fucking fantastic that like take all of the things that we love about Spider-Man and like just new spin on it. Ultimate Fallout's like a bird's eye view of aftermath from the universe. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what it is. It's just like snippets. Whatever. It is what it is. Aftermath. Aftermath. The kayfabe guys pinned Spawn first to an issue of Wizard. Yeah, exactly. It's the Batman cover. So what is that, 4 or something like that? Yeah. Like there are some parts of Ultimate Spider-Man that are laughably bad, but they're few and far between compared to how good that that storyline is. But then like my eyes keep going. Then when you get to Miles, it's just so good. It gets confusing because of the convergence, the whole getting the 616 and the Ultimate Universe and all that stuff colliding. But really, really is just Bendis really nailed it. And he had some good artists that, after Bagley, Pacelli, and I forget some of the other names that were involved in it. But man, it's something to have fun with while you're reading it. And it's easy to read. It's definitely, you don't really slog through it. You just like some of the shittier storylines, you still kind of breeze through them, even though they're not the best. But man, as it pertains to the movie, the Spider-Verse, and like doing justice to these characters that, either we all know and love for a long time, like Miles at this point, or Miguel O'Hara, or, some others. And then some, like Spider-Punk's in the movie, obviously, hands down one of the best characters in the movie. They did it right. And I've never read a single Spider-Punk book. I know what he looks like, and I've seen all the issues and stuff. The only real experience I have with the Spider-Verse as it pertains to comics is I read one of my favorite comics of all time is Edge of the Spider-Verse 5, which is the Penny Parker, Gerard Way written manga comic. It's like such a fucking great book. If you have a chance to read it, I suggest go read it. You don't have to read anything else to have enjoyed it. But the Edge of the Spider-Verse in total, those 5 issues are all great. And as for modern comics, it's one of the things that I wanted to collect. So I sought out. I got a 9/8 copy of 2, and I've got several copies of 5, and I've got 1 copy of all the other issues. It's fun to read. So if you have the Marvel app, or you want to go buy the single issues and then the facsimile of 2, I recommend reading The Edge of the Spider-Verse because it gives you an introduction to everybody that was in the first movie. Penny, Gwen, well, those 2 to be specific. Spider-Man Noir, I read when it came out. I don't remember really caring about it too much, but I think I was kind of getting my way out of superhero books at that point, so maybe that's why. But yeah, that was nice to see Manu, and I'm excited to drop this podcast hopefully within the next 2 weeks, and it's going to be audio only. Once again, it's going to be called It Came from the Newsstand, and we're excited. We're really excited. We're going to be doing our recordings probably 2 episodes at a time. So, okay, Lamar, taking the bad experience I had in the movie theater out, 9.5. I'll when I see it again tomorrow, it'll kind of solidify how I feel about it. The pace of it was awesome. The action was awesome. The animation was somehow, like better, like eons better than the first one. And yeah, so it was that good. No, Mattis, it's going to be an audio only. We're going to be, once I figure out how to get it into the universe, and once it's all finished on the editing and the logo side, we're going to be putting it on the platform, one of these platforms that gets it out to, iTunes, Spotify, UB, Bleeby, Blueby. I don't know what the hell the other podcast listening apps are, but it'll be a free podcast for everybody to listen to. Probably just have to download an app or whatever. But the reason is I didn't want to do another video show. I didn't want to have to edit any more video. I already do enough as it is. And I think Manu, I can't completely speak for him, but I can kind of speak for him because this was the reason why I had this idea, and I said it to him. He was trying to get YouTube content out there, but he has trouble sitting himself in a seat and talking to the camera without interaction with somebody else. And for my part, I do shows by myself all the time. This show largely is by myself. My Sunday video drops are largely by myself, and West Coast Wednesday is largely by myself. I wanted to do something with somebody on a regular basis that I could rely on having a back and forth with. And obviously, you all know that me and Manu have a good repertoire together. And I wanted to run with that. Speaking of, yes, YouTube is a tough game. And, luckily, Mike, we wouldn't, if we decided to do a show together that was video, we would at least have our core audience behind us. But yeah, with him, he would literally he was supposed to start creating YouTube content, and it's just like sometimes you don't have the motivation to do it by yourself. I don't really have that problem, but I'm not everybody. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be a long-term thing that we're going to both really enjoy. And yeah, I'm just excited to have somebody to talk to in this landscape that I can rely on. Obviously I'm going to play, daddy, make sure we're ready to to record and all that stuff, but I'm okay being the leader on that. Yeah, Daryl, it's kind of tough. It definitely is. I don't really have anything intelligent to add to it, just other than you can sit down and do it. If you don't like it, you don't have to post it. So you're going to put some time into it, but eventually there's going to be some stuff that you're going to end up saying in the camera and you're like, oh yeah, I should just roll with this and keep going. Now let's talk about him for a little bit. Comic Tim actually, don't tell anybody. I bought him a train ticket to New Jersey and I just let him go there. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, so I want to say thank you. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's bots, if it's like like fake, but I want to say thank you if there's somebody out there that had posted one of my videos or did something to get me to slide right into the algorithm. But over the last 3 days, I've gotten 25 more subscribers. And I know the video that I posted last week, the San Francisco flea market video, definitely hit the algorithm a little bit a second time because I've seen boosts in the views on it. But yeah, I've just gotten a lot of subscribers in the last 36, 48 hours. So I want to say thank you. And next week we'll be dropping, I don't know what video I'm going to be dropping. I have 2 ready to go, but we'll see. I did cheat today and drop the Joe Benitez interview as a separate video because I wanted it out there on the channel anyway. And I don't know if you're paying attention on Instagram, but me and Joe are playing a game to see how many times we could repost the other one, reposting. And right now it's down the rabbit hole. Armando, you wouldn't be able to make content. You're not a public speaker. Rather remind in the background and enjoy the show. Yeah, look, 100%. This whole thing is not for everyone. And to be honest with you, there's a lot of people that probably shouldn't be talking in public. And I'm not saying that directly at you. I'm just saying in general, I watch a lot of content to just kind of keep up on it. And there's some people that I wonder, I feel bad because I want them to get better and I don't see it. But there are plenty of people out there that are they speak so much, see, they speak so much better than I do. I just speak from the heart. Anyway, I don't know. I love it. Your mail call videos on Instagram are really hard for me. Something just about talking to a camera. Tyler, I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit. You've posted, I think, 2 videos, and I saw, maybe it was 3. I saw a jump from one to the other. So just keep at it. No matter how bad you feel you're doing on your videos, the only person that's really going to notice that is you, because you're not. You're getting better. I watched that last one you dropped, and it's fun. I was engaged. And that's what it's about. It has nothing to do with really how well you're speaking. It has to do with making sure that you keep in mind that you're enjoying yourself. But if you picture in your head like you're talking to one person, I don't picture it as I'm talking to a bunch of people. I picture it as I'm talking to one person and I'm having a conversation with them. And as long as you can keep engagement going, people will respond to that. And I don't mean like with comments, like they'll have a response as if like instead of swiping up to the next thing, they'll, put their phone down and watch their phone. Algorithm on IG got me too. After your last minute, 20 new followers. Yeah, there's, I hate the idea of the algorithm. That's why I don't do shorts, because I know shorts on YouTube, it's the same idea as reels, but I know shorts on YouTube are going to get views, right? And they're going to get followers, but they're not going to get the followers that are going to watch my long form content, that are going to sit here for an hour and 10 minutes and then maybe go over to Justin's channel. They're going to watch 30-second videos because that's what they consume. And that's not what I consume. It's not what I create. So I hope that I'm never creating stuff that you guys are bored with. I may cheat every once in a while, like I did this morning, and drop a video that a lot of you saw live. But that's just to give myself a break, but to keep content out there for new people. So that's that. The comic Instagram thing is something that you're interested in dipping into. It's fun, man. It's just pick your spots. I can suggest a bevy of great accounts to follow. Most of them you already know who they are, like Manu, like Tyler, like Andrew P. Andrew P's got the most satisfying eye candy that anybody posts in the comic sphere. And he's not always posting comics, but it's always comics related stuff, art. Yeah, well, of course, Tyler. I wouldn't blow smoke. Like, I remember watching that last video you posted, and I didn't even care that it was all my stuff, but you just looked a little more comfortable. You knew what you were talking about. You'll get more comfortable. It's all about your comfortability level for your own head, and it's about making sure that you're, keeping in mind that engagement is you're battling for people's attention. So if you missed it, I did announce earlier in the night this month's book club, which happens. Let's see what the date is going to be. I think it's June 30th. It's nope. Oh, sheet. It's Sunday. Oh, all right, guys. We may do book club at a different time this month, because the last Sunday I'm actually doing a comic book convention, or a convention out by me. So I don't think sit down's going to happen. But the next book club is going to be X-Men Days of Future Past. Any sort of creative output is an iterative process. An iterative process. It's cliche, but you just have to do it over and over and build your competency and just keep at it. It's exactly what people were telling me when I first started this. Like, keep posting content, just keep doing it. It'll get better. You'll get better. Everything will kind of refine itself. Now I'm dipping my toes into a podcast, which it seems like at the base level, it seems like it would be the same thing, but I'm finding, I'm going into a different part of my brain to make sure that like I'm less contained, but just as animated, if that makes sense. Like, not yelling, not doing, like stuff like that, but making sure that you can still hear the passion in my voice. That makes sense. Your IG engagement has picked up in the past week and followers are flat. It's weird. Yeah, I don't know how it works. I don't pretend to know. But you just keep doing it, and throw a reel in every once in a while. That's what I do. And the reels, sometimes they hit, sometimes they don't. I just create this shit that comes from my brain. That's really what it is. Andrew's account is a guilty pleasure. I just scroll through it when I'm in need of some entertaining. It is great. It is great. You don't buy from anyone else but you, Dave. So that's you're my my trusty unboxing partner. Should be doing probably a less than stellar CGC unboxing next Saturday or next Sunday eve. So next Sunday night, I'm getting a very small submission back. I did a 35 books pre-screen, and apparently only 11 books came back with the grade. I don't know what they are, but I'll do it live with Joe, because he pressed all that stuff for me. All candy all the time. All death metal all the time. And Andrew's, oh yeah, yeah. It is so beautiful to look at. We all can hope one day to have the eyes that Andrew has when it comes to not just, it's not even just the photography, Andrew. It's what you pick out to post. Obviously, I love the fact that sometimes, I sell you a book and you post it. But yeah, just like the radio cards, the weird, fucking weird ass shit you find, the checklists that are checked off, all that cool stuff. And now whenever I see that stuff, I'm just gonna put it in a pile and hold it for you to whenever I send you stuff. So it's all love, man. It's all love. But yeah, so in short, Spider-Verse was fantastic. Gonna go see it again tomorrow. If not, I'll go see it Tuesday. Podcast is coming out probably within the next 2 weeks. Sundave Sitdown, the next book club. I'll figure out when it is. It'll probably be maybe we'll just push it to the first Sunday of July, and then we'll double up and do something at the end of July. But that's going to be X-Men Days of Future Past. I'm back on Wednesday, so we can all look forward to that. I will try to deliver the sad news about the July. I'm going to be taking a break for a chunk. I will try and still do Sundave Sitdown throughout all of July, but yeah, just to save your money in July. That's all, because then I'll return back with a claim sale that'll, I probably would have never have loved Todd Venom the way I do if it wasn't for Manu, Tyler, Andrew, and Dave's content. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I know that is very appreciative, those words, all of us. See Todd, bye Todd, forever and ever and ever. Well, Mattis, you're going to be stoked. One of the episodes that it's going to be debuting in the next couple weeks is my first series of a series called Todd Talk. Now, he's not part of it yet, but that's the aspirations. But I'm going through my PC. Well, I'm going through with my stuff on my PC and talking about all the different pieces of Todd's career. So we start with the first episode is going to be ASM. The next episode is going to be the Hulk run. The episode after that will be, I'm not sure yet, but I'm going to go through all the chunks of the Todd stuff as per the books that I own, which at this point is 4 or 5 short boxes worth of Todd, just Todd books. So yes, the UK stuff that I film, and I hope to do Sundave Sitdown live on the road. Obviously, it all really depends on the kind of Wi-Fi signal that I get wherever I am. But yeah, so I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. Now I'm going to take like a 5-10 minute break after I end in a couple minutes. And then I'm going to hop on Justin's channel, but I think the way that I sign in for StreamYard, I should be able to sign in through this channel. So you'll be able to see I go live again on this channel. If not, at 8:30, if you don't see me live via West Coast Adventures YouTube channel, just go over to Spidey Hits, join in. It'll be me, Manu, Justin, and Rohan back in the game. And I don't know. We're going to talk about Spider-Verse. It's definitely a spoiler-free show. Maybe I'll rip this Mando box. I really would love to get a Pedro Pascal autograph out of there. And if not, we'll just have a good old time. Yeah, Mattis, I'm really, really excited for the Todd Talk. I edited that one. That one's done. I got to shoot the Hulk one probably this week. I'm going to try and get ahead of the game, but I got a lot on my plate. Yeah, Armando, if I don't do this tonight, I'll do this next Sunday. And I have 2 of them, but I want to open one before I open the other. And yeah, don't forget to hit the like button, folks. Yeah. Let's hear the song again. You ready? Okay, so picture this in your head. The Beatles. They shifted time and they watched the Spider-Verse movie and they wrote a song called Across the Spider-Verse. And it goes, Spider-Man and Spider-Gwen are superhuman spider friends. Together they are web swinging all across the Spider-Verse. Spider-Ham and Ben Reilly are hanging out in the background. Miguel O'Hara is nasty. I saw this movie. Yeah. This is the Spider-Verse. This is the Spider-Verse. This is the Spider-Verse. This is the Spider-Verse. All right, y'all. Everybody have a great night. Tyler, I'm sorry that you're not going to be in there, but I'll see you on Wednesday. I should meet a random Todd on the street and oh my God. That's a great idea. And Armando, I'll check the DMs as soon as I'm off before I get on to Justin's. And that was Sundave Karaoke. Yeah. Well, I hope everybody has a great rest of their Sunday night. Please join us over on Spidey's channel, and I'll be there in 10 minutes. And don't forget to hit the like button. I love you all. I appreciate you all. I'll see you on Wednesday. And go see a Spider-Verse. All right. Bye now.
Are you ready?
Sunday sit down.